Coming down, holding a slab, sipping on something sweet. I got a cup of candy, know what I'm saying? Them hoes jealous cause we got more diamonds in our piece than them. You wanna hate? Know what I'm talking about? And this shit been brought to you by Young Pimp C, 80s Sweet Jones, and that boy Big Boom. You know what I'm talking about?
Just a player hater, why you hate me? Cause I stay blowed and I make G's. Been trying really hard to fade me, and I've been thinking about killing you lately. Just a player hater, why you hate me? Cause I stay blowed and I make G's. Been trying really hard to fade me, and I've been thinking about killing you lately. My head is open from that chronic that I'm smoking. I'm broke but still looking. A bunch of niggas hoping I'm joking. I went from rags to riches, money, cars, and bitches. From hugs and kisses to busting slugs and snitches. Who I done dug them bitches. Staying true to the finish. I'm leaving thugs with stitches, but busters still in my business. That's why I roll with the crumb and act the fool on the streets. You busters wrong in my zone, I'm laying it down with this heat that's on my passenger seat. The only friend I can trust, ready to put dicks in the dust when it's time to bust. Ain't got no time to bust, cause I got money to make. I'm staying away from you fakes that perpetrate and play a hate. But if you cross that line, I'ma pack that nine and put it on your mind and have your family crying cause I hit you with that iron. And I ain't lying, I done told you bastards too many times. Stop fucking with mine, nigga. Just a player hater, why you hate me? Cause I stay blowed and I make G's. Been trying really hard to fade me, and I've been thinking about killing you lately. Just a player hater, why you hate me? Cause I stay blowed and I make G's. Been trying really hard to fade me, and I've been thinking about killing you lately.
Sweet Jones from the south side of shit. East side to Arthur where the haters be figures. When I was 17, I was throwed in the game. 45 carats in my piece, in my chain. I be gripping grain every day in the side, talking down on UGK and get you bust in your mind. It's all about the paper, but it's some fakers die. Fake Rolex on their wrist and fake diamonds in their diamonds in their diamond on me. Got a registered papers. We done took a 2-week vacation to Jamaica. Spurs not Lakers. Serve a boy cake.
What's happening? What's happening with it? What it do? What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what it is. You're tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah, when y'all come in the building, smash that like button. Make sure that you hit the like button for me. You know, the like button free. It don't cost you nothing. You know what I'm saying? Tap in on the like button. And jump in the comments. Let me know that you're in the building. Let's see who we got in the building. Man, Leon Robinson in the building. What's happening with it? DP Rocker in the building. Cali Fire in the building. Phil J508 in the building. Dank Father in the building. What's happening with it? In the Queen Lori Reed in the building. I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope everything well. Yeah, like I said, everybody make sure that y'all hit the like button. And let's get into it. Let's talk this boxing. Let's talk this boxing. Let's see what I know we got a couple fights going on this weekend. I think Sanicia Estrada, I know she fighting this weekend. Let me look at the schedule. Let's see what's going down this weekend, because I don't even know what fights we really got. If it's any, I know it ain't no big fights, but we got some fights coming on this weekend. Let's see what it is. I'm gonna look it up for y'all and see, to keep y'all updated, to see what we got going on this weekend. Let me see. So tonight we got Sonny Edwards versus Felix Alvarado. We also got what else we got? Hold on. We got Montana Love and Steve Sparks tomorrow. I don't know who the hell Steve Sparks is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If any of y'all know who Steve Sparks is, I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna look. Montana Love is fighting Steve Sparks. I ain't too big on Montana Love. Like I really ain't feeling Montana Love like that. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, he all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, he's all right. Montana Love to me, I'm gonna tell y'all what level Montana Love is on to me. He fighting Steve Sparks, somebody that's 15-2, UK, a dude from Australia. Sound pretty much like Montana Love. They giving Montana Love, Rudy Poot after Rudy Poot after Rudy Poot to fight. Montana Love ain't fighting nobody. Let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? He's not fighting nobody. But yeah, Montana Love, man, yeah, he ain't really my cup of tea. I don't really rock with him like that. He's not that good to me. To me, Montana Love is like on the level of Adrian Broner, right? Right when Adrian Broner like got out of his prime. That's like the level that Montana Love is at right now, and Montana Love is at his best right now. He's like at Adrian Broner when Adrian Broner was, leaving his prime. Nothing like AB was when he was in his prime, but he's like AB, like the 2018 version of AB. That's what he remind me of. Yeah, so he gonna be fighting a dude from Australia that's 15-2, named Steve Sparks. Another cab driver they feed him. You know what I'm saying? Another cab driver. We seen Montana Love struggle. Was it the last fight that he was in or the fight before that he was in? He struggled. I think it was Carlos Diaz, some dude named Carlos. No, it wasn't Carlos Diaz. Who was it that he struggled against? Valenzuela, his last fight. I think it was Montana Love last fight. He struggled real bad his last fight. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look good at all. But like I said, they feed him another cab driver. So we're going to see what he do with him. And y'all smash the like button. Smash on the like button. I know they really not sending out my notifications to everybody at all. So, but like I said, we finna be in and out today. Aisha, what's going on with it, Queen? Salute. But so yeah, let's see what other fights we got going on. That ain't really too impressive to me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'll watch this shit if I don't have nothing else to do. But that's not a fight that I'm gonna break my neck to watch if I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? Like it is whatever. So we got Sonny Edwards and Felix Alvarado tonight. We got Montana Love and Steve Sparks tomorrow. We also got Natasha Jonas versus Marie-Eve Dicaire. I like that fight. I like Natasha Jonas, females. And Marie-Eve Dicaire. I think Clarissa Shields fought her and beat her. That I can remember. I might be wrong, but I've seen her fight before. So I like that fight. On ESPN, we got Janabek. We got, Janabek. He coming back. We already know he a very dangerous fighter. He fighting Denzel Bentley. Janabek is going to tear through him, like some wet tissue paper. So, and then on Sunday, we got Floyd Mayweather versus the YouTube cat. On Sunday, we got Floyd Mayweather versus the YouTube cat. So, and then I think we got, I thought Senicia Estrada was fighting. I thought Estrada was fighting. I thought I heard KQKC say Senicia Estrada was fighting. But other than that, that's pretty much the fights that we got this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really nothing too big going on this weekend. It ain't nothing that jumps out to me that really excites me about boxing going on this weekend. But like I said, I'll watch it if I ain't got nothing else to do. But you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't really, like I said, it is what it is, I'm going to just keep it real. It ain't really nothing that stand out that really excite me like that. Probably the women's fight is the best fight out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Janabek, yeah, he fighting, but who is he fighting? You know what I'm saying? Who is he fighting? Dude that he fighting, he not fighting nobody impressive. Yeah. But yeah, y'all hit the like button. If you just coming in the building, make sure that you hit the like button. who just weighed in 30 minutes ago. Leon Robinson, who just weighed in 30 minutes ago. You know, and when you watch Janibek fight, look for the bumps on his back. Look for the bumps on his back. Remember, I'm telling you this. When you watch him fight, look for all the bumps on his back. That'll pretty much tell you all you need to know. Senicia Estrada, so she is fighting this weekend. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing her fight. You know, she could go. Senicia Estrada, she could go. Hell of a talent. Eddie Hearn. Well, let me read this real quick for y'all. Eddie Hearn update on Conor Benn. I'm not involved with that hearing. As I understand it, it's now underway. Conor Benn's case will be heard. Then they can make their decision. Whatever the decision is, let's get on with it. If he's gonna get banned, let's get it. Yeah, we already know what Conor Benn is. Like, I'm on record right now, right? Saying that Conor Benn will never be the same fighter again that we saw him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Conor Benn was destroying shit. Now we know why he was destroying shit. So Conor Benn will eventually come back. You know what I'm saying? But he's never going to look like he was the last time we saw him fight. And the time before that, we saw him fight. Because now we know why he was destroying shit. So, yeah, they're going to let him come back. I don't know how long they're going to suspend him. You know what I'm saying? Or ban him for. But he'll be back. He'll be back. You know what I'm saying? He'll be back sooner than later. But anyway, like I said, let's get into it. I'm not finna waste no time. Roy Jones Jr. is Anthony Joshua's new trainer. Roy Jones is Anthony Joshua's new trainer. It's crazy because for the past 2 fights in a row, Anthony Joshua has picked different trainers. You know what I'm saying? He continued to pick different trainers every time he loses a fight. And it's like, man, is it the trainer or is it just you? Like, what was wrong with Robert Garcia? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not giving yourself a chance to actually win these fights because you keep going to different trainers. To me, Robert Garcia was a very good trainer for him because we seen the adjustments and we seen him look better in his last Usyk fight. To me, he did a lot better in the last Usyk fight. He even had his confidence was through the roof. You know what I'm saying? He didn't fold in the fight. He showed that he got a lot of nuts and he just looked a lot better with Robert Garcia. But now you fight. But y'all remember, I did a video months ago and I told everybody that he was leaving Robert Garcia. Now, all of a sudden, it's breaking news that he left Robert Garcia. I told y'all months ago that he was going to leave Robert Garcia. So, just like I said he would, he left Robert Garcia and now he hires Roy Jones Jr. as his new trainer. Now, everybody that know me know that Roy Jones is my favorite all-time fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, can't nobody say shit bad about Roy Jones. But I got to keep it real. And y'all hit the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button yet. But I got to keep it real. I got to keep it 100 when we talking about Roy Jones training Anthony Joshua. Like, let's talk about that. Roy Jones training Anthony Joshua. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. And I'm going to tell y'all why I don't like Roy Jones for Anthony Joshua. Because in order to be, you know what I'm saying, in order for Roy Jones to work for you as a trainer, you got to be athletic. You got to be able to move. Because Roy Jones, what he does, and I've always said this, he tries to train fighters like he fought. You know what I'm saying? Look at Chris Eubank. If you look at everybody that Roy Jones has trained, He trains them the same way that he fought. And that shit ain't gonna work for Anthony Joshua. He gonna get hurt going out there trying to fight like Roy Jones. Real talk. Shit gonna get real ugly for him. He going out there getting trained by Roy Jones, trying to fight like Roy Jones. I don't think Roy Jones is good for him at all. I really don't. And like I said, Roy Jones as a fighter, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing about Roy Jones as a fighter. But as a trainer, yeah, he a good trainer for certain type of athletes. For certain type of fighters, Roy Jones is a good trainer. But for somebody like I said, for somebody like Anthony Joshua, that ain't a good fit at all. It's not. Like, how is Roy Jones gonna help Anthony Joshua with the style that Anthony Joshua had? We already know that Anthony Joshua, he's very stiff. He got boxing fundamentals, you know what I'm saying, but he's not athletic like that. He's not an athletic fighter. And I think like this shit is a disaster in the making. I'm gonna just keep it 100. They just don't, to me, they're not gonna mesh well. To me, they're just not gonna mesh well. They really not. Man, hold on, man. Y'all gotta smash the like button for real. Y'all gotta hit the like button because this is crazy. Smash on the like button. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no reason that everybody in the building shouldn't be hitting the like button. Smash on the like button. Swat Jones, what's happening with it? Mr. Mechanical, what's happening with it? What's good with it? Yeah, y'all hit the like button. So, I mean, we not going to hit the like button? I mean, what is we doing? What we doing here? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Smash the like button. Bruce Gas, what's happening with it? John Kramer, what's happening with it? So I'm just waiting for y'all to hit the like button because, you know, I mean, all right. Let me see. Let me check this. Let me check these likes and see if, you know, we hitting the like button one more time. It's still a bunch of people that ain't hit the like button in here. It's still a bunch of y'all that still ain't hit the like button, and I ain't finna ask no more. Devin Blocker, what's happening with it? Salute. Aisha, what's going on with it, Queen? Yeah. So, like I said, man, Roy Jones, my favorite fighter of all time. But as far as him training Anthony Joshua, nah, that ain't a good look. That ain't a good look. But hey, I hope it work out. I hope it work out. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them gain success. I don't hate Anthony Joshua like everybody else do. Like a lot of people do. I ain't gonna say everybody else, but like a lot of people do. I don't like how he went about that whole situation with Deontay Wilder. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? I like Anthony Joshua. You know, but yeah, nah, that ain't gonna happen. I don't see that working out. But we gonna see. We'll sit back and we'll see. You know what I'm saying? That it surprises me that Roy Jones and Anthony Joshua, you know, are working together now. That's his new trainer. It's crazy. And then one thing that I noticed with Roy Jones and all his fighters, Roy be having a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how Roy Jones is going to be a full-time trainer for Anthony Joshua, because Roy Jones be having a lot of different shit going on. And from the outside looking in, it seems like that he ain't there, you know what I'm saying, full-time with his fighters. I know he wasn't with Chris Eubank and, you know, some of his other fighters. So we'll see. We'll see. But salute to Roy, man. That's my guy. Anyway, let me see. Another thing I want to talk about, right? Because we seen Issac Cruz and Shakur Stevenson get ordered. We seen that fight get ordered recently at the WBC convention, right? Now, I see a lot of people going around saying that Shakur is ducking Issac Cruz because, you know, they getting part of the story. All they heard was Bob Arum said no. That's all they heard. That's all they heard was Bob Arum said no. But they didn't hear actually what Bob Arum said. Yeah, Bob Arum said no, but it's more to what Bob Arum said, right? Bob Arum said that he was asked about, you know, Issac Cruz and Shakur Stevenson being ordered. And he said that he don't see that fight happening. He said, nah, he don't see that fight happening. He said that they contacted, I don't know if Bob Arum is telling the truth or not. You know what I'm saying? We've heard Bob Arum tell the truth. We didn't heard him tell a lot of lies. So I don't know. But I'm just reporting to y'all what was actually said, because a lot of people not reporting what Bob Arum actually said. So he says he don't see the fight happening. He said that he reached out to Issac Cruz's people, his handlers, and they never got back with him, and they seem like that they don't want to fight. He said because once it was ordered or whatever, he said he knew it was going to be ordered. He reached out to him to try to see if they could, you know, get the fight done down the line. And he said they was basically talking like they didn't want the fight. They wanted to go another route for Issac Cruz. They didn't want to go the Shakur Stevenson route. So that's why he said that he don't think the fight is going to happen between Shakur Stevenson and Issac Cruz. Now, when I heard that, right, it's either one, right, because whatever story y'all want to run with, you know what I'm saying, motherfucking Bob Arum is not worried about no Issac Cruz being a tough task for Shakur Stevenson. Bob Arum is not trying to protect Shakur Stevenson from no motherfucking Issac Cruz. For one, Bob Arum knows that Shakur Stevenson is that dude. He know that. Bob Arum is not afraid to put Shakur Stevenson in the ring with nobody, because he believes that Shakur Stevenson is that good. Now, it could be because they're on different promotional sides of the street. You know what I'm saying? And maybe Bob Arum said no because he's looking at that fight and he's saying, you know what? Nah, we ain't finna do no cross-promotional business with them. So it'll have to go to purse bid. You know what I'm saying? So it'll have to go to purse bid, and I don't want to go through all of that. So both sides is just looking at it like no. Plus, you never heard nobody on Issac Cruz's side ever talk about wanting to fight Shakur Stevenson. nor have you ever heard Shakur Stevenson mention Issac Cruz. So it's kind of like some shit that just came up out of nowhere, right? So that's one reason, because of the different sides of the street. Maybe that's what Bob Arum was, saying or looking at, but just didn't want to come out and say it. Or it could be Issac Cruz's people that don't want to smoke for Issac Cruz, right? And they're trying to save Issac Cruz for a Gervonta Davis fight. Because let's be honest here, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, that fight ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gonna be fooled like they always are and look at how Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford turned out and still think that Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight is gonna happen, when that's from the jump. That's a much more difficult fight to happen. You're talking about Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya, doing business with Al Heyman. And y'all think that shit gonna happen. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That fight ain't happening. So with that being said, what's gonna happen with Gervonta Davis? Who is he gonna fight next? They need somebody for Tank to fight. You're not gonna fight Michel Rivera, right? Because he's off the table. He fighting goddamn Frank Martin. You feel me? You got Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko fighting each other. Plus, they on top rank anyway. You got Shakur Stevenson. They ordered him to fight Issac Cruz, but then Issac Cruz, people don't want to fight. That's what Bob Arum is saying. So if Issac Cruz people really don't want to fight, why don't they want Shakur Stevenson? The only thing that I can think of is because they want to save him for Gervonta Davis. Because Tank is going to need an opponent. He's going to need an opponent, right? That Abner Mares shit, he already let you know that was a lie and that was some bullshit. You feel me? He gonna need an opponent. It's just plain and simple. They can't have Tank get in the ring on pay-per-view again with a nobody. They can't do that. He's going to need somebody to fight. And we've heard on several different occasions behind the scenes that they want to set up a rematch between Gervonta Davis and Issac Cruz. Now, Issac Cruz don't want to rematch but Tank Davis, he don't want to rematch with Issac Cruz or Issac Cruz, however you say his name, right? He don't want that rematch because he already said he don't want to fight Issac Cruz again, right? But it really don't matter what Tank want when it comes to a fight like that, because you heard his trainer say that we company man. Tank Davis just sits back and basically wait to see who they gonna tell him to fight, and that's just what it is. So our Issac Cruz handlers trying to save him for another fight with Gervonta Davis. I think that fight will do big numbers. I think it'll do big numbers because it already happened. Now, when it first happened, nobody really knew, unless you was a diehard boxing fan, nobody knew who Issac Cruz was. Now Issac Cruz has built a name for himself. He has a name. You know what I'm saying? He has a big fan base, a following now. And they already fought. They got history. A lot of people, to me, that really don't know shit about boxing is saying that, oh man, Issac Cruz won the fight. Issac Cruz gave goddamn Gervonta Davis a hell of a fight. If he didn't win the fight, he almost won the fight. No. What I saw was a mismatch. I saw Tank Davis beat that man with one hand and still beat him 9 rounds to 3. That's what I saw. So, if they run it back, they run it back. Let them run it back for the casuals. It is what it is. But, who else is Tank going to fight? If he's not going to move up to 140 pounds, and he said that You know, he don't want to fight at 140 no more. He been said that after he fought at 140, he said, nah, he going to 135. That's going to be his weight class. He don't want to fight at 140 no more. So if he ain't moving up to 140, who he going to fight? And anybody, and yeah, I'm saying it straight up and down. Anybody that thinks that Issac Cruz is a difficult style matchup for Shakur Stevenson, yeah, I don't know. You either don't like Shakur Stevenson or you don't know too much about styles in fights. Because to me, that's a horrible style for Issac Cruz. Like Shakur Stevenson will make Issac Cruz look really bad. And I've already seen Issac Cruz look wild and sloppy against other fighters. You know what I'm saying? Shakur Stevenson, it'll make him look really bad. And I could see Issac Cruz's handlers not wanting him to go in there and look bad against Shakur Stevenson. So, you know what I'm saying? I could see them not wanting him to fight Shakur. Why would they? They know, come on now, Sean Gibbons and Manny Pacquiao, everybody that's over Issac Cruz, they know good so goddamn well he not beating no Shakur Stevenson. So why have him fight Shakur Stevenson? So what Bob Arum was saying is that Issac Cruz people are going to have him go a different route. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to have him go the WBC route. They're going to basically skip that mandate and have him go a different route with another sanctioning body. And I believe Bob when he say that. Tunnel Vision says, and my man Tunnel Vision in the super chat, he says Bob Arum isn't setting up one of his fighters with a Cruz level fighter that is not signed to Top Rank. I still think Davis versus Ryan Garcia will be next. Why? And salute to my man Tunnel Vision. But why in the hell do you think that Davis versus Ryan Garcia is next? Like, why do y'all keep letting these people fool you, right? Into even thinking something like that? Like, how do you think that Davis versus Ryan Garcia is next, bro? Like, how do you think this? I don't get it. Seriously, I don't get it. How can you think that fight is next when Oscar De La Hoya is talking all type of shit about Al Haymon and the PBC, right? Also, you haven't seen them, Golden Boy, do no business with Al Haymon and PBC. Like, he's been talking shit recently, disrespecting Al Haymon, disrespecting PBC. You also heard Steven Espinoza say, hey, look, DAZN and DAZN and Golden Boy, they want to be a part of the pay-per-view, and we don't need them. We don't need them being a part of this pay-per-view. It's not going to happen with them a part of it. Telling you that, yeah, they're going to have to hand us over Ryan Garcia, and we're going to make this fight with Ryan Garcia on Showtime pay-per-view without DAZN involvement, without Golden Boy. So how do you see the fight happening? All I'm saying is stop letting these people fool you. Stop letting these people fool you. Tunnel Vision. KQ, what's happening with it? Oh, no doubt, KQ. No doubt, KQ. Hell of a show today. Hell of a show. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia is not fighting. Now, you know, if you want to be fooled, man, I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, bro, don't believe that shit. Tunnel Vision says, I think it might be next because Martin versus Rivera set up future Tank pay-per-view guys facing each other. But that has nothing to do with Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. But like I said, if you want to believe that fight is next, go ahead. Go ahead and believe that fight is next if that's what you want to believe, man. But salute to Tunnel Vision. Salute to you, my brother. That's what you want to believe. Go ahead and believe it. James Blackwell, salute to you. Appreciate it. But yeah. So That could be one of the reasons, you know what I'm saying? There could be a fight. There could be a fight, a rematch between Tank and Issac Cruz. Give me some other opponents that Tank Davis can fight at 135. Realistically, y'all drop some names in here if I'm missing something. Y'all drop some names that Tank Davis can fight in January or February, realistically, at 135. Drop me some names. And y'all smash the like button too. Cammy, what's happening with it? Javier Valencia, what's happening with it? Lawrence Johnson says he don't see Tank stand at 135. Why wouldn't you see him stand at 135 when he said that he's not fighting at 140 no more? That basically he was saying it was too big for him. Yeah, see, and nobody in here has gave me one name that Gervonta Davis can realistically fight. His next fight in January or February. Ain't nobody got no names. Nobody can think of nothing. Yeah, give me one name. All these people in here, and not one person could come up with one name that Gervonta Davis could fight realistically. Dundada says De Los Santos. Bro, he ain't fighting no goddamn De Los Santos. I mean, Zaire Abdullaev. He ain't fighting no Zaire Abdullaev neither. He ain't fighting no Jojo Diaz. Diaz just took a L. What was it, last week? Jojo Diaz just lost last weekend. He ain't fighting no De Los Santos. Nobody knows who that is. At all. Like I said, you can't put Gervonta Tank Davis on pay-per-view again with somebody that nobody knows. Aisha says she asked that, would Bob let him fight Shakur? Yeah. Bob already been calling for Tank. But that's the thing you should be asking, Aisha. Let's keep it 100. Let's all keep it 100. The thing that you should be asking, will Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby let Tank Davis fight Shakur? That's the question that you should be asking. Will Mayweather let Tank fight Shakur? Because we haven't seen a problem with Shakur fighting anybody. We've seen all the problem on the other end. Somebody said Frank Martin, that fight is not possible. Frank Martin is fighting already. He already lined up to fight Michelle Rivera in December. Leon Robinson says Floyd won't do it. Exactly. Floyd ain't letting Tank Davis fight no Shakur Stevenson. Judah Ben Israel says Tank versus Hector Garcia. That's a solid fight. But it's another opponent that really nobody knows unless you just a die hard boxing fan. Tank can't fight Lomachenko, Judah Ben Israel. We said realistic fights, not fantasy fights. That would be a fantasy fight right now, my brother, because Lomachenko and Devin Haney are fighting next. Brandon House says Kid Austin. That's not even close to being realistic. Kid Austin is still a prospect. Kid Austin is still a kid. He's like 18 years old and a prospect. That ain't happening. Yeah, so my point is why I asked this question, right? Because the only realistic name that anybody could give was the name that I gave. Issac Cruz, a rematch with Issac Cruz. Other than that, everybody else is either tied up with somebody already. T.O. is at 140, and T.O. has a fight scheduled already in December against Pedraza. Everybody is either already tied up, right, with a fight scheduled in December or January, or they no names or prospects that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Issac Cruz make a lot of sense. Mintu says O'Shaquie Foster. O'Shaquie Foster has a fight coming up already with Ray Vargas. O'Shaquie Foster is already fighting Ray Vargas. And O'Shaquie Foster is at 130. O'Shaquie Foster don't even fight at 135. So, yeah, nobody can give me a realistic name. I mean, the only thing that came close was my man Ben Israel when he said Hector Garcia. Then that would be a solid fight. But Hector Garcia, like I said, he's not. Nobody knows him. And we gotta stop. And they gotta stop putting Tank Davis in the ring with guys that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Because they continue to put him in the ring with fighters that only super diehard boxing fans know. So that's it, you know. Jermaine Ortiz, Swad Jones says Jermaine Ortiz. That fight ain't realistic, bro. That's not a realistic fight because Jermaine Ortiz is with Top Rank and he don't have a big enough name for them to do a cross-promotional pay-per-view. Ain't happening. So somebody said, Speak say he could fight Kambosos. Come on, bro. You know good so goddamn well that's not a realistic fight. He ain't fighting no Kambosos when Kambosos just got the dog shit beat out of him by Devin Haney. Why would it even make a little bit of sense for after this man then got beat by Devin Haney 2 times in a row for Tank Davis to go fight Kambosos? That's not realistic. Now y'all just saying shit. Now y'all just saying shit. y'all just throwing just any name out there. Oh, he gonna fight Kambosos. And he ain't fighting no Kambosos, man. Like I said, the only realistic name, he not fighting Ryan Garcia. That fight ain't gonna take place. Like I said, I'll be willing to bet anybody any amount of money that him and Ryan Garcia not fighting next. They want to fight each other, hell yeah. But yeah, they definitely not fighting next after all the shit that Oscar De La Hoya been talking about Al Heyman. That definitely ain't gonna happen now. You know what I'm saying? And both of those fighters, they don't have no pool. Ryan Garcia ain't got no pool over there with Golden Boy. He's stuck in that contract. And Gervonta Davis ain't got no pool where he at. What's happening with it, coach? Salute. What it do? So yeah, Javier Valencia says, I can see them trying to go with an opponent like Javier Fortuna. He ain't fighting no Javier Fortuna. Fortuna just got knocked out by Ryan Garcia. So it would make it would make 0 sense for him to fight a Javier Fortuna when Ryan Garcia just knocked out Javier Fortuna, his last fight. Like I said, Issac Cruz is the only fighter that'll be available, as far as we know right now, that'll be available that make any sense for Tank Davis to fight. Like I said, he's not moving up to 140 because he said he don't want to fight at 140 no more. It's too big for him. He ain't going back down to 130. So at 135, either everybody is tied up with a fight already, or it's fighters that some of the fighters are solid, but they don't have no name at all. Nobody know them. Rolly fights at 140 now, Leon Robinson. Rolly moved up to 140. Well, he is moving up to 140 his next fight. Rolly is big as hell. Y'all don't realize Rolly walk around at like 180 something pounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Reese, I said that earlier that Tank don't want the rematch with Cruz, but when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, when it come down to it, he ain't got no fucking choice. If they just like his trainer said, his coach Calvin said, hey, Tank just, you know, he's a company man. We just waiting to see who they tell us to fight next. And that's exactly what the fuck he gonna do. He gonna sit around and he gonna wait, right, to see who they tell him to fight next, and that's who he gonna fight. Mr. Mechanical said they might pull Jorge Linares off the bench. Damn. That's crazy. Julio, what's happening with it, Julio? Yeah, but Sheena said 180. Damn, yeah, man. Rolly walking around in the 180s when he not training. Motherfucker, Rolly get big. But it's crazy because he swear up and down that he cuts the weight pretty easy. Now, obviously, he must not cut the weight too easy because he moved up to 140 pounds. So something ain't adding up. Julio says Jermaine Ortiz is not with Top Rank. You're wrong. He's with CES Promotion Company out of Rhode Island. Well, all of his fights that I've been seeing him fight on, he fight on Top Rank. All the fights I see him fight on, he fight on Top Rank. And Jermaine Ortiz just had a fight, 2 weeks ago with Issac Cruz. With Lomachenko. So I don't see Jermaine Ortiz getting back in the ring and fighting in no January. Could happen, but I doubt it. And like I said, we don't know what type of dealing that Jermaine, if he's not promoted by Top Rank, all his fights is on Top Rank. All his fights is on Top Rank. So at the least, he has to be co-promoted by Top Rank. So, make it make sense. Picasso, what's happening with it? Oh, yeah, that's what's on. Dundada, good looking out. Yeah, that's what I want to watch. I want to watch the UFC card tomorrow. I'm watching the UFC. I don't know what y'all gonna be doing, but I'm gonna watch the UFC. I might watch a little boxing, because I think the zone fights come on early, and then I might, go over there and check out what's going down on ESPN. But I'm definitely gonna fuck with that UFC. That they got a fire UFC card, so I'm gonna watch that. Y'all need to start fucking with the UFC for real. Y'all need to start fucking with the UFC. I'm telling you, because all of the shit that we complain about in boxing, we ain't got to worry about that in UFC. One thing we know is all of the best fight the best. And every time they put a card on, even if you look at the betting odds, right? If you look at the betting odds with the UFC, you don't hardly ever see any crazy outlandish shit. All of them fights be damn near even on the betting odds. All of them do. Go down the whole card, all them fights be hella close. Julio says Jimmy Birchfield works with people at Top Rank, but I'll find out his next fight. I know them guys. And he's talking about Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah, I like Jermaine Ortiz, man. I like Jermaine Ortiz. When I went back, first I thought he got robbed versus Vasil Lomachenko, and I said, man, they just robbed this kid. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back and I watched the fight, and I had Lomachenko edging it out by like 2 rounds, I believe. I scored it. I think I had Lomachenko winning by 2 rounds. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Hopefully for Tank's sake, 2023 next year is a lot better year for him as far as who he fighting, right? As far as who he fighting. Because we can't, let's keep it real. We can't go a whole nother year and see Tank Davis fight the type of competition that he's been fighting throughout his career. We can't go a whole nother year and watch that shit and be okay with it. I'm not okay with that shit. I ain't been okay with it for a long time. Yeah, I had it 7-5-2 done, daughter. I haven't been okay with what Tank, you know, how they've been moving Tank or how Tank been moving, however you want to put it, for a long time. But even Tank, people that rock with Gervonta Davis heavy, even people that rock with him heavy, that think that he can do no wrong, that never get on him about shit. Y'all can't even go a whole nother year with seeing Tank fight the level of competition that he been fighting. It can't happen. You know what I'm saying? In that case, he might as well sit out the whole year. If he gonna come back and they gonna put him in the ring with the same level of competition they've been putting him in the ring with, he might as well just sit out the whole 2023. Real talk. Trey says, I give him 2 more years. So you mean to tell me that, let me see. You mean to tell me that he became champion 6 years ago? And you mean to tell me you willing to put 2 more years on it before you get on his helmet? So you willing to see him fight the same level of competition that he's been fighting for 2 more years? So after everything's said and done, right? You willing to let him slide for a total of 8 or 9 years? That's crazy. If that's what you're saying, that's crazy. But, you know, hey. He said, hell no, everything, boxer. Don't cook me. He said, hell no, I forgot how old he is. Yeah. He 28 already. But but the thing is he been champion since he was like 21 or 22. No, not DP Rocker. Nope. Unless that nigga sitting in the jail cell, we ain't using that court case and him having court. You know what I'm saying? We ain't using no excuses. In 2023, I need to see him take on all the smoke, or at least attempt to. At least make a whole lot of noise and let everybody know he trying to take on all the smoke. He sit around on that quiet shit and, I haven't asked them, you know what I'm saying? I've never went to Floyd Mayweather and Larry Ellerby and asked them for no fights. He sit around on that shit again for a whole nother year? Nah. They need to cancel, you know what I'm saying? Fuck canceling Kanye and Kyrie, right? They need to cancel his ass. But we're going to see, you know, hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's a much better year for Gervonta Davis. Hopefully it's a much better year in 2023 for Gervonta Davis. Javier says, Keon, if they were to rematch Tank Davis and Pitbull, what's your prediction? Same outcome, or do you think Pitbull gets a couple more rounds in? I think that Tank Davis either stops Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he either stops him, or I think he either wins like 10-2, 11-1. He either stop him or win like 10-2, 11-1. That's what I think. Because like I said, I thought he won 9-3 with one hand. Mark Shue says Jaron Ennis turning out to be like Gervonta Davis. Not at all. Not even close. For you to compare the way that Gervonta Davis is moving and saying that Jaron Ennis is turning out to be like Tank Davis is, I don't know where you get that shit from. Not even close, bro. Not even close. Jaron Ennis haven't even had a chance to be a champion yet, bro. What are you talking about? Jaron Ennis is only 25 years old and wants all of the smoke with everybody. Jaron Ennis is not even close to moving like Tank Davis has been moving. That's crazy you would say some shit like that about Jaron Ennis. That's disrespectful to him. Johnny Allison says, stop Pitbull. Come on, man. He didn't hurt dude at all. Yeah, of course he didn't hurt Pitbull. He didn't have a fucking, excuse me. He was fighting him with one hand. Yeah, he was fighting Pitbull with one hand. You failed to leave that out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You left that out. You failed to mention that he was only fighting him with one hand. So, yeah, if Tank Davis go in there with two hands, I see him either dominating and beating him almost every round or stopping him. Yeah, so that's how I see it. But I don't have no problem. Like right now at this point, I'm gonna keep it 100, right? When you look at the landscape of 135 pounds and you see that basically everybody is tied up already or is names that people don't know, I don't have a problem if they rematch him with Issac Cruz. Do I want to see that fight? Not really, but I mean, you can't just sit on the sideline. You can't just sit on the sideline and sit out because everybody else is tied up. So yeah, he's safe. He's safe. He has an excuse. He got a valid excuse. You know what I'm saying? It would be a valid excuse. Like, who else do you want him to fight? You can't make him move up to 140. He's not obligated to have to move up to a division that he don't fight at. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So I'll let Tank, you know what I'm saying? I'll get Tank. I'll let him slide. He go and fight Pitbull Cruz in the rematch. I'll let him slide. I'm not going to get on his helmet. But that next fight, right after the Pitbull Cruz fight, he going to have to be calling and shouting and hooping and hollering and doing everything that he need to do for all of the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I think a better matchup is Rolly versus Pitbull Cruz. I think that's a much better matchup than Pitbull versus Stevenson or Pitbull versus Gervonta Davis. I think Rolly versus Pitbull is a hell of a matchup. And that's a 50-50 type of fight right there. Rolly versus Pitbull is a 50-50 fight. How I feel about a rematch with Rolly and Tank? That's a good question, man. That's a good question because, of course, Rolly only lasted, 6 rounds, and he got knocked out in the 6th round. Rolly can sell a fight. So, of course, that fight would definitely sell again because Rolly is going to make everybody believe, hey, I was winning the fight. I made a mistake, and I got caught. I learned from that mistake, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. But I don't know, bro. It's like when you look at that fight, if you want to keep it real, Rolly was giving Gervonta Davis some problems. But if you know boxing, everybody that was watching it saw Rolly, you know what I'm saying, saw him getting too comfortable and knew it was a matter of time before he got too wild and he got stopped. I knew it was a matter. I'm watching the fight and I'm like, oh yeah, he feeling himself a little bit too much with Tank. It's just a matter of time before Tank catches ass because he's not going to stay defensively responsible. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm saying this to myself as I'm watching the fight. Now, can Rolly go 12 rounds with Tank and be defensively responsible? I don't know. He ain't showed me that. You know what I'm saying? He haven't showed me that. But yeah, Rolly was putting that pressure on Tank, and he was giving Tank some problems, you know, as far as while the fight lasted. You know what I'm saying? While it lasted until Tank, you know what I'm saying, waited for his ass and Rolly just ran into some shit. But other than that, it was a close fight up until that point. So, you know, Rolly it'll sell. Rolly could have convinced everybody that he'll beat Tank next time around because he only made that one mistake. Rolly, like for real, he'll convince people that. So I wouldn't hate the fight. I wouldn't hate the fight. Like to me, honestly, the Rolly, the Pitbull, Issac Cruz, and Rolly Romero, like both of those rematches are pretty much on the same level to me. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of people that's going to believe that Pitbull has gotten better and that he'll be able to beat Tank. Both of them shits are pretty much on the same level fight. I just think that looking at the landscape on how Rolly know how to sell, Rolly would actually be able to sell the fight, you know, and then make it a bigger fight than Pitbull. Lennox Lane says Cruz probably considers Shakur more of a higher risk, less reward compared to Tank. Tank has a bigger name and a little bit easier compared to Stevenson. Facts. But as far as the style matchup, because it's, you know, like I said, if Shakur wants to go in there against Issac Cruz and not get touched and just win 12-0, Shakur can easily do that versus somebody like Issac Cruz, who's wild. He's very wild. He throws hooks. He don't throw no jabs. He throw looping shots the whole time. He could easily 12-0 him. Or Shakur could beat his ass, like Coach was saying last night. Shakur could beat his ass for, you know, 7 rounds, move and beat his ass and just frustrate him for 7 rounds. And then the back end of the fight, you know what I'm saying, stand there with him and just beat him up. Once he tires him, once he get a little bit tired, it slows down. Because a lot of people think that Shakur just going to move and move and move. And he don't do that. Shakur is not a fighter like that. He don't move and run around the ring from you. I don't know where y'all getting this. Shakur, he sits down on his shots. You motherfuckers seen Shakur Stevenson, right? Kind of pop shot and move for, you know, 12 rounds. One fight. Seen him do that shit one fight against Jeremiah Nakatila and told everybody, look, you know, I wasn't feeling too good. Like first he said that he felt his power and he said, I wasn't feeling too good tonight. It wasn't, you know, so I decided to just not get hit and just, you know, just beat him every round on the outside. But he said, you know, he got a lot of slack for that shit. When he did that, fans was booing him, saying that he ain't what they thought he ain't what he say he is, he ain't this and he ain't that, right? Fans was booing the shit out of him, right? Bob Arum talks shit, talking about he's never gonna become the star. People don't want to see that. People think he's boring. And Shakur said, you know what? I won't do that shit again. I promise y'all, from now on, I'm going to produce exciting fights. And he's done exactly what he said he was going to do since that point. But you got people like my brother Knockout. Every time they want to basically, you know, talk shit about Shakur, they bring up that one fight. But at the end of the day, he still won every round in that fight. So what is the point? All that let me know is he's able to fucking beat you any way he want to beat you. If he think you got too much power and he want to beat you 12 rounds to 0 on the outside, he can do that. If he feel like stepping to you and just beating you down, he can do that. So that's all that tell me. That's all that shit tell me. But people want to use that as a key talking point to say that Shakur Stevenson ain't this or he ain't that. And like, come on, man. Lennox Lang says Shakur is kind of like a young Floyd. Shakur doesn't have to run or move his feet too much to make you miss. Yeah, he don't, not at all. But the only thing that I can say about the difference from Floyd is when Floyd was younger, when he would get his opponents hurt, he could get you up out of there. What I see from Shakur is he hurts all of his opponents. Like we've been seeing him basically beat the shit out of and beat up all of his opponents. And everybody watching it, you can see that he can get him up out of there. But then I don't know what it is. He chooses not to sell out. He chooses not to sell all the way out and just beat him up and let him survive. Where, you know, he don't want to take the chance to where he just like, fuck it. I'm going to just sell all the way out and I'm going to get you the fuck up out of there. Because even when you see Oscar Valdez, it's like, bro, you could get him up out of there. You beating the shit out this dude and you not choosing to sell out to get the job done, to finish him off. His last fight with Robinson Conceição, right? We seen that Robinson was done. Shakur had beat him up bad and Robinson was done, but he didn't finish him off. And I just think that's like, he don't have that in him yet to like say, you know what, fuck it. I think he because, you know, he's so defensively sound and so defensive minded, right? He chooses not to sell out and you know, give you no openings to, because when you really trying to finish somebody off, yeah, you're going to open yourself up to shots, but he like chooses not to do that. You know what I'm saying? He chooses not to do it, but that's just his next level. That's the next level he got to go to where he learns how to finish his opponents off. Clarissa Shields just pretty much the same way. I've seen her have opponents hurt, but she don't know how to finish them off. My man Julio says, "Hey brother, gotta go by. He says, gotta go. You gotta go. Keep up the good work. Like your channel. I appreciate you, man, coming through, showing love and support. Enjoy your weekend." My man Starvinsky says it's over when Shakur get a killer instinct. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He just don't have that killer instinct. Like he'll beat you up and then he'll slide back and kind of watch his work. He'll slide back and watch his work. You know what I'm saying? Slide back in, beat you up some more, and then slide out. He don't go all the way in to get you up out of there. And that's pretty much the only knock. There my man knockout right there. I was just talking about you, knockout. I was just talking about your ass. Well, not talking about you, but I mentioned you. I mentioned you. You know, but yeah. And basically in reference to what we was talking about last night with the Shakur Stevenson. You know, I was talking about how everybody want to bring up that one fight with Jeremiah Nakatila. The conversation that we had last night. But knockout, hey man, good looking. I'm gonna go. You know what we talked about today. I'm gonna go with your word, knockout. So good looking on that. I'm gonna trust you on this one, knockout. Good looking. Nah, it wasn't even Glover. My man, Coach. It wasn't even about Tank. No, it wasn't about Tank. It was strictly about Shakur and Jeremiah Nakatila. But yeah, once Shakur gets that, like my man said earlier, once Shakur Stevenson basically I don't want to say learn how to finish his opponents off. I'll just say what my man said. Once he gets that killer instinct, that's the next level for him. You know what I'm saying? That's the next level because Shakur's not in his prime yet. How many fights Shakur got? Somebody let me know. I don't know exactly. I know he probably got about like what 12, 14, 15 fights. Not too many. How many fights Shakur Stevenson got? I need some help, y'all. I'm gonna have to pull it up. My box rec ain't working. I'm trying to pull up box rec. My shit ain't working. Up on 19, okay. So he got 19 fights, right? He got 19, knockouts say 17. Is it 17? Is it 19? He got 19 fights. He got 19. He's total fights 19, right? So he got 19 fights. He's not in his prime yet. You know what I'm saying? He's basically just growing into his man body, and you can see that he's moving because he had to move up in weight. 19-0, 10 KOs, right? So he's not in his prime yet. He's what, 25? I think he just turned 25. Yeah, he just turned 25 not too long ago because, you know, he went to the Olympics. So he's not as young as you would think he is, right? Because he didn't turn pro early like a lot of these cats do. He went to the Olympics and then he turned pro. But, I mean, he been pro since, if you think about it, I think he turned pro in late 2016. Almost 2017, like 2016, 2017. So he's been pro, let's say, 5 years. He's been pro like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? He's been a pro 5 years. Dank Father says, is Tank in his prime? Yeah, Tank is in his prime. Shakur is not in his prime yet. And the reason I'm telling you that Tank is in his prime because I don't really see Tank getting no better because, for one, Tank is already 28, but not even because he's 28. It's because Tank is only fighting like once or twice a year at the most. You know what I'm saying? He's still in that stage to where he only fighting once a year. You know, I see Tank is in his prime. I think Tank is in his prime. When fighters are still fighting like at least 3 times a year, I think that it gives them time to continue to get better and continue to grow. I think that Shakur Stevenson probably got about like three more years before he get in his prime. You know what I'm saying? He got about 3 more years. Tank is 28, Shakur 25. He got about 3 more years before he's fully in his prime. You know what I'm saying? But I think that Tank is in his prime. He's right now at the peak of his prime. And I don't see Tank slowing down. I don't see Tank not being in his prime up until, I think Tank could probably be in his prime. He got, let's see. I think he got at least probably 3 more years in his prime. You know what I'm saying? I think that Tank probably got at least 3 more years in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how he take care of himself outside of the ring, and depending on, you know, if he loses the fight, you know what I'm saying, between now and 3 more years, how he takes that L. Because just because you lost the fight don't mean you can't shake back better. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean you can't turn around and beat that opponent that whooped you. You dig what I'm saying? It's just all about how you take that shit in your mind. Knockout Boxer says Tank got another 7 years. You won't see any regression until turn 35 years old. I don't know about all that knockout. I ain't finna say that this man is gonna still be at the peak of his prime all the way up until he's 35. I wouldn't say all of that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even tell you that about Shakur Stevenson. The only fighter that I really tell you that about, you know what I'm saying? The only fighter, I wouldn't tell you about that. I wouldn't tell you that about none of these fighters. But if I would have to say any fighter that I have to bank on being able to say that about, depending on, you know what I'm saying, if he's as good as we think he is, if he, you know what I'm saying, would probably be Devin Haney. And the reason I say Devin Haney because he positions himself outside of the ring to be in his prime, still still at 35 years old. You know, and when I say is that he don't drink, you know what I'm saying, he don't smoke, he don't do no extracurricular activity, but fuck with women. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't do none of that shit. You feel me? And then he always keep his body in shape, and he always does. So Devin Haney would be the only one that I would be comfortable with saying, okay, yeah, I can see him still being in his prime at 35. I wouldn't tell you that about Shakur. Definitely wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell you that about Gervonta Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Because out of all the fighters that I named, I know that Devin Haney lives a complete fighter's lifestyle. I can't tell you that about Gervonta Davis. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson does, but I know that Devin Haney does. One of my real good partners is very close to Devin Haney. Very close to Devin Haney. Parties with Devin Haney sometime and do, you know what I'm saying? Been to the club with Devin Haney, and he tell me, yo, Keith, the nigga won't have, he drinks motherfucking Voss water all night. That's all he do. Being a VIP and he be drinking water all night. That's it. I can't say that for Tank. I can't say that for Shakur Stevenson. And I'm just keeping it 100. Swat Jones, what's happening with it? And I appreciate you for supporting the channel, big dog. Appreciate you. And everybody know I rock with Shakur over all of them. But I'm not finna sit here in front, you know what I'm saying, just because I rock with Shakur over all of them. I ain't gonna sit here in front on the shit. I've been and told people, right? If you take Shakur Stevenson, you take Devin Haney, and you take Gervonta Tank Davis, right? And I got to bet on one of those, right, to be the best fighter out of all, to be the best, right? Let's say 8 years from now, I'll pick Devin Haney because he lived a fighter's lifestyle like that to have the longevity 8 years from now. Now, do I think Devin Haney right now, today, is better than those fighters that we named? Is better than a Shakur Stevenson or a Tank Davis? Not necessarily, nah. Not necessarily, nah. But I think he continue to do what he's doing. Down the line, he could be. Damn knockout, man. You be on Devin head. He said Devin has to live like that because he isn't as good as Tank and Shakur. I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I think that like I said, everybody know I got Shakur over all of them. I would edge Tank to beat Devin, but like I said, to me, Tank Davis and Devin Haney, to me, it could go either way. That's how I feel about that fight. And if Tank can't catch Devin and knock him out, he's not going to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he can win that fight. But if that fight would happen and I had to make a bet, I would bet for Tank Davis to stop him. I'm just keeping it 100. I would bet if I had to. But like I said, to me, that's a close fight. A super close fight. A super duper close fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, very close. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even bet on that fight. That's how close that fight is. Like, to me, that's like a 48-52 fight. That's how close it is. You know what I'm saying? I would go 48% odds for Devin Haney and 52% odds, for Gervonta Tank Davis. It's like a 48-52 fight. That's how close it is. And I'm not even comfortable saying that. And the only reason I picked Shakur over Tank, you know what I'm saying? Only reason I picked Shakur over Tank because I've said it before. Shakur, he can make different adjustments to where if he feel that Tank Davis' power is too much, he know how to stay on the outside and not get hit and just counter you all night. He also know how to fight inside, where I think he can fight, you know what I'm saying? He can push Tank back. He can fight on the inside. Great fighter at mid-range. As far as Devin Haney's a great fighter on the outside. He could fight very well mid-range, but Devin Haney can't fight inside. So what does he do if he's not able to wrap Gervonta Davis up? And you know what I'm saying, on the inside, when Gervonta Davis closes the distance, what is he gonna do when he's not able to wrap him up on the inside? Because that's pretty much what Devin do, is he holds on the inside and then, you know what I'm saying, make you reset. So that's how I see that fight. That's just my opinion, though. And I agree. I don't see, but we'll see. Like I said earlier, Coach, if we go a whole nother 2023 with Tank Davis not fighting nobody, even Knockout is gonna have to get on his helmet. My man Big Dog Willie, TWT in the building. Salute to my man Big Dog Willie. He says Khan has a better chin than Hagler, Holyfield, Duran, Joe Joyce, combined super. He said combined super duper amazing, spectacular, tight coochie, prostate, diamond facts. That's a whole lot of big facts right there. And I agree with Big Dog Willie, man. Ain't nobody touching Khan's chin. My man Coach said, I got Dev over Tank Davis all day. We know that, Coach. We know that. I know that. And then here go Knockout. And Coach. Knockout say that Tank has fought better competition than Devin. But he should have, though. Knockout. Tank should have fought better competition than Devin because Tank has had more opportunities. Everybody called Tank out. Don't nobody call Devin out. And Tank been around a lot longer than Devin. He been on the scene longer than Devin. Cornell White says everybody Tank fought is a come forward fighter, so we never seen Tank close distance. We've seen him close distance before. We seen him close distance in the Mario Barrios fight. He closed distance late in the Mario Barrios fight. He had to close distance because Mario Barrios was much longer and bigger than him. So he did close distance in that fight. But I do agree with what you're saying, that pretty much everybody that he's fought is a come forward type of pressure fighter. But we did see him close the distance in that fight. My man Upper Echelon says Khan KO Lennox Lewis and sparring, then Fury. Yeah, they don't even know about that. You don't know shit about boxing if you don't know that Amir Khan, right? When Amir Khan was in his prime, he knocked out Lennox Lewis. Y'all don't know shit about boxing if y'all don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Go tell him I said it. Oh shit. And salute to my man Upper Echelon. Hey, man. I want to see my man Gary Russell back in the ring, man. I want to see my man Gary Russell back in the ring because I fuck with Gary heavy, and they look like they trying to blackball Gary Russell out. And the last time, Gary Russell was doing a couple interviews, you could kind of hear it in his voice that, he like, shit, man, y'all might see me back, late 2023. I don't know. Y'all might, who knows? And you know what I'm saying? So that let me know that my man Gary Russell pretty much realized that they pretty much is going, ice him out. And I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit because Russell is one of the realest dudes, like the realest cats in boxing to me. Gary Russell, Deontay Wilder, in no particular order. You got to throw Errol Spence in there. Who else? Just cats that's just real to the bone, like those three, they're my top three right off the rip. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like my brother Dank father say, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying, to my brother Batman, man. Miss Batman, man. One of the realest men you will ever meet. Solid, just like Gary Russell. And my man Dank father says, R.I.P. Batman. If they would have listened to him, they would be stars. They would be. You know what I'm saying? They would be, but they wouldn't listen to, they wouldn't listen to Batman. They wouldn't. Batman was giving them, the game. And the one time that Gary Russell listened to Batman and did what Batman told him to do, when Gary Russell came out and he was on social media, he was doing videos and he was talking that shit. Gary Russell's name at that moment was one of the biggest names in boxing. One of the biggest names in boxing. But, they just don't, that's not their forte. You know what I'm saying? You never hear Antoine Russell say nothing unless, you know what I'm saying, he got a fight coming up the week of the fight. You never hear Antonio Russell say nothing unless he got a fight coming up the week of the fight. And you never hear Gary Russell say nothing unless, he got a fight coming up or one of his brothers got a fight coming up. It's just not how they move. But, especially, I'm going to tell you like this. Antoine Russell and Gary Russell, both of them could have been, well, I don't want to say could have been because Antoine Russell is still, still a star on the rising, but, we know how that's going to turn out because he's too good and a lot of people going to duck him and he don't talk. So, and he could talk. He can speak very well. Gary Russell can too and talk shit. They just choose not to. And unfortunately, you got to be able to do that in the game today. Got to be able to do that. But yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how everything turn out. We'll see who Gary Russell. We'll see who Tank Davis end up fighting. We'll also see who all these fighters that they mandated, all these fights that they mandated, we're gonna see if they actually take place. Hopefully in 2023, we get, we get these fights. We could pretty much scratch off 2022 off the list. You know what I'm saying? I think that 2022 gave us a lot of good, especially, I'm going to say this. In the women's division, we got great fights. This year gave us, I think the women, right, they broke through barriers this year. for the women. They broke through barriers this year. I think for the men, we did have some solid fights, but I think, overall, this year was a letdown for the men overall. It was a letdown overall. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the ones that did give us solid fights, because we did have some solid fights. Yeah, the Figueroa, the Fulton Figueroa 2. Yeah. No, I think they fighting that. Yeah, they fighting at 126. So that's gonna be a hell of a fight. I got Fulton, but it's gonna be a close fight again. We're gonna see the same fight we saw the first fight. So let's hope, Motley, let's hope that next year is gonna be awesome, because we come into every year boxing with them promising us a whole bunch of fucking great fights, and then a lot of years towards the end of the year, we talking like this about all of the fights that we didn't get to see. But yeah, we'll see. Upper Echelon says the first half of the year was like the best ever. Yeah, they came in with a bang, and then that shit fizzled out real fast. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Y'all smash the like button. Everybody in the building, smash on the like button. Smash the like button. If y'all haven't smashed the like button, it's free. It don't cost you nothing. I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love and support. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all. We up out of here. I appreciate y'all.